Yeah.
Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. I'm Coach Linden.
I'm M.
Amy.
Coach Debbie.
And I'm a blueberry.
Yep.
Coach's Corner is all about helping people change their relationship with food and fitness. So we use our knowledge to help you gain a little perspective on your journey. All right, if you like this video, like it, share, hit the notification button, and subscribe. Don't worry about that noise. We're fine.
It doesn't have the mic.
So, what is this? What? All right. As you can see, we are a crew of tired people. There's a lot of tired at the table. It's a very. Everyone's getting except for Emily. She's not as tired as the rest of
I'm
us.
totally fine.
But let's say we've all been doing some intentional movements, intentional work. It has turned into some very good things, but also exhaustion. I thought it would be good if we talked about, it's like being real on the journey, things that actually happen on the journey of being well, because I'm finding that a lot of people are acting like there's not, certain things don't happen. Like getting better is like, yay, but really it's like, right? I just wunderbar what's gonna happen next, you know?
Oh boy.
So you have to make sure you cover the things. You have to go over it, right? So I'd like to give some truth. Today's topic is truth when it comes to overall physical, mental, and spiritual health. Let's give it a go. Physical. Truth. Tell the truth.
Truth about
Fuck
physical
it.
health.
No, I'm just kidding. You just ran away.
I think physically, the journey's hard to take care of myself consistently. Consistency in taking care of yourself physically is been tough for me. So the truth is, like, I'm currently working on eating 3 meals a day, getting enough protein, and not losing weight. Yeah. Trying to keep that muscle on and keep that muscle fed so that I can be stronger overall. And no one tells you how much you gotta eat. And like that there's gonna be times that you're like forcing yourself to eat kinda. Not kinda, you are. Like, I don't know what's going on last night, but I'm sitting there with a plate. I'm sitting there with a plate and I'm like,
I finished mine in 3 minutes. Like,
she just watching me from across the table like,
Amy's a practiced eater. She knows how to do it.
yeah.
Just plate. Done.
So I can only speak. I
must
can
be
only
done.
speak from my side of the fence. I know a lot of people are on the other side where they're like,
No, this is about hard truths.
trying to lose
Truth-
weight. But
truth
for
about self,
my
truth about the
is
journey.
It's hard to keep weight on. It's hard to keep muscle on for me, and the way to do it is through consistency. So I'm starting for the first time, having some consistency around food and what I consume.
You want to share how you're doing that?
This one right here, just move in.
Get you an Amy.
Get you an Amy.
Get you an Amy. You'll be fine.
Excuse me.
Just hire a personal
I was looking
chef.
for a new place to live.
Go bougie as fuck. Get a
All
personal
right,
chef.
but for real, the best thing to do is plan it out. You know.
Yo, that was for real. Get you an Amy.
Yeah, no. Like, if you can, get you an Amy. If you can.
If you don't
If
plan
you
it out,
can't get yourself an Amy, shit.
plan that shit out meticulously. Make sure that you make eating a non-negotiable. Maybe get yourself a nutrition coach if you don't know how much you should be eating. You don't need it, but we got it here.
Yep.
I think that was it. Yep.
We got it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could add more. If you don't have a nutrition coach, you can find that shit out online. You know, you could calculate it yourself. You could do it all on your own.
He closed it so well, he just fucked it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep going because no one's talking. That was fine.
I mean,
You're fine. You didn't have to add
You're all
anything.
done.
You're good.
got it.
All right, he's cutting me off.
Are you done? Are you done?
All right, that was an obvious cutoff. He had it perfect, then he fucked it up. Next.
Yeah.
She probably shouldn't do that
Don't
on camera.
fuck it up.
to be fair.
Oh, I'm all about fucking it up these
Yeah,
days.
let's
Don't
do
forget
it.
to get yourself an Amy.
Let's do it. I don't think that was a fuck up at all. I think that was a very real thing.
Yeah.
I think
I
the
didn't
advice.
think it was a fuck
I think the
up.
advice was sound, but he closed it like a salesman and then reopened.
I really did.
You did, yeah.
He's like, great job.
Oh my God.
Hire me.
Oh my God.
But by the way, you don't need me.
You don't need me.
I was like, why? Why? That was a good cap. I
Yeah.
mean, he's technically right. You don't necessarily need a nutrition coach, but if you're struggling on your journey, 100% it does help.
It's really great
Right.
for accountability.
Yeah, some people need that.
I do so bad.
She was like,
It's me. I'm the one who needs
she
it.
was like, I was like, some people do that. She was like,
Who doesn't?
You don't have to do it alone unless you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it with
I think there's
support.
a lot of knowledge that, you know, having somebody experience that comes with that, right? And I think if you are doing it on your own, it is a lot of like, it's like being in a lab, right?
Shuffling
I'm
the
going to
shit.
test some shit out,
Yeah.
right?
Trial and error.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just
you're
gonna keep picking to find that needle in the haystack.
YouTube
like this.
University, we're running tests, we're, you know.
Every day.
I think that is a big part about,
Coaching.
I think people are really good at tuning out needs, right? Or tuning into the truth, which is what we're talking about here. You know, how many times do people come in here and be like, I eat healthy? And you're like, what is that? And they're like, and the
Doritos.
shit they say, you're like, oh yeah?
They just knock something over.
Bag of Doritos.
Or I think the
It's
one that
cool.
I like is, well, I don't eat fast food. And I was like, fair. That's a good thing.
It's a good start.
But there's a lot of slow food that's shit, so I don't know what that means. You could bake a pie every day, and that takes it all like from scratch. But like,
That
is
took
it
him
good?
out. Yeah, that literally took him out.
Cakes.
I said that's good, but there's a lot of slow food out there too, yo. Hey, yo, facts. Yo, fucking facts. I don't eat McDonald's, but I had a pie last night.
Right.
Like, that's not good.
Every day I
right?
make an artisanal pie.
It's amazing. Crust made in the house. Like, all right, you still, all right, whatever, motherfucker.
But I think that is a big thing. Eating is, I think that one is, it is hard. When my level, my physical level is at a certain point, like last year when I was preparing for that show, I was rehearsing all the time, I'm in here, like I was doing a ton of stuff. And it was a job. Like, I used to joke around where I was like, prep chef is like a part-time job, but it is because because of my values is I choose how I eat. That is based on my values. I like to make stuff from scratch. I like to buy stuff that's fresh, that's in season, that's local, that's all this stuff. That just is how I, navigate that. You don't have to do it that way, obviously. But I think there's many days when I'm like, I gotta go prep the closet eggs, or like I gotta chop this up. I
lot of
don't
cussing.
want to do it. Like,
So much cussing.
yeah, I think there's a lot of
Gotta
cussing.
make those fucking closet eggs again.
But I think
For
the
every
truth is-
fucking body. But I love everybody.
But I mean, they're for me. Like, they started for me. But I'm like,
That's
well,
true.
I'm gonna feed people if they're here too.
Yeah, love language stuff.
But it's a big one.
I
for
know,
me.
I know.
I think
Get you one of these.
But
yeah, having
That's why he said I was
Making
like,
the time.
that was solid.
preparing, right? That's like, because I think it's easy to fail
One day
in the
you're gonna bring them out,
nutrition.
I'm just gonna be like, these are regular closet eggs. I'm disappointed. No, I think most people miss the mark in general because food and love do go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. Love for self, love for other people. It's a language.
Mm-hmm.
When someone takes the time to actually cook for you, that is big, right? So I always do pay attention to how someone chooses to approach the kitchen in general,
Yeah.
especially like those who have more feminine energy than masculine, right? Because you're already a nurturer, you're already a provider. So watching someone who like really puts the time in is like, right? Versus someone who's like, yeah, I was rushing, so I just made this cheese in a bowl. And you guys can have it. It's fine. It's cheese.
I took the plastic
I got
off.
seven
made
cheeses
this
in there,
cheese.
so you know it's serious.
Did you make
right?
it?
Like that's the type of stuff they're saying, and you know for a fact that they just rushed to the space at
Yeah.
the very last minute, put it together, and it doesn't feel good. Like
Yeah.
it's like gift giving, right? It's a gift when someone cooks for you. It's a gift.
And it can be a gift to yourself. I think
100%.
that people miss that.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, well,
Biggest
I'm not
gift.
seeing results. How many times are people in here and they're like, I'm working out, I'm doing the thing, I did the stuff. And it's like, well, what are you eating though? Because
I showed up twice.
Yeah, like your
no
body.
weight came off. It did, but you put it back on with your artisanal pie. Mm-hmm. So
Right.
that's the problem. You know, you want to be fat, be fat. I'm not against people being fat and being on a fitness journey or health wellness journey, but I do think that when you are talking about getting better health, losing fat is a large part of that journey, right? But if you won't have a big back and work out, that's your business,
Yeah.
right? I don't think that should be a problem.
Yeah.
You wanted to laugh? No, just go ahead and
I
laugh.
just feel so like ungrounded in the topic right now.
What's your physical struggle?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Drop some truth, Em.
Ew.
get her.
Physical struggle? That's not the
Got to
topic.
put the T down.
That's not a topic.
Physical truth.
Physical
What's your truth? What's your truth about a struggle that you have
Or
physically?
about the
Right.
journey?
That's really is that
about
is
the
the
journey
topic.
Yeah.
this far, yeah.
Yeah, that's about that's what the
Yes,
topic.
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be
struggle.
your current struggle. It just needs to be one you
Yo.
face.
So many.
Oh my goodness, choose one.
I feel like we're
Just choose one.
just choose one.
wisely.
choose
Wearing a
one.
human suit is exhausting.
Yo, let it slide, bro. I
Let it slide.
I'm glad you said let it slide. I'm just like,
was like, yo, I
Just gotta
I
fix
saw
the
that
zipper.
shit. Hold up.
Yo, it's the Men in Black dude. He puts on the humans. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's exhausting. Struggles. Food's a struggle.
Orion's belt.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of hard work. I feel like my food's not right, and it makes my progress slow. Also, hormones make my progress slow and make me tired. And sometimes you get injured,
Yeah.
and you got to deal with that.
I think the hormones is a big one as a woman, like having a 28-day cycle or whatever your
don't have
cycle
that.
is. Well, I mean, that's like not. I don't have it either.
No,
like
yeah, I
most
get
women
you.
don't have like the exact 28 days, but you're in different phases. You have different amounts of energy, right? You have different levels of different hormones at different times, and it does affect you. Like it
Yeah.
is easy to be like, yo, I can do this. Last week I was, whoa, and this week I'm like dragging my ass. I think
Yeah.
it can be a struggle.
Yeah, I'm on the ass drag right now. I thought that like when we were,
is on ass track. Just set
Gotta zip up the back, Em.
set it on the side, right
I
under the
wanna
left
zip up
cheek.
the
I'm the
back.
ass drag part of my cycle in this human suit.
Yo,
The luteal.
Just sliding ass across the carpet.
shit.
You're the one that said the crazy phrase.
I know this. What kind
Thank
of
you
day?
for starting that.
What kind of day it is?
All right.
This
This is gonna be one of those weird coaches corners.
But they're all weird.
They're actually not that
Yeah,
weird.
hormones are totally infuriating. I feel infuriated by hormones right now. And I told you about it. There was this girl, she was like, doing a squat press, and the caption was like, gym girls don't need to track their period because they know. So she tries to press squat this thing and just like fell over. And that's
I
reminiscent.
don't remember this video.
I didn't show it to you, I told you about it.
Oh, okay.
Like you said, I showed it to you.
Yeah, I was like, did you just say?
We have to rewind the
But
tape
there
for that
was
one.
there. You did send me one with a guy and a girl, and there was a.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, like,
Matchup.
she's lifting the same thing. Then the next thing you know, she's on the floor taking a nap. He's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
lifting the same thing. You did send me that.
I think because I felt it a lot when we were running in the summer. Because I was like, we're running this 8 miles, and you're just out there. Like,
So you do be hating sometimes.
And you're just out there running.
That explains so much, by the way. Because there'll be this moment, she's like, all right, and I'm like, why are you so happy? Fuck you. Like that's because I'm just like, I'm not that
that was
happy.
the
Why are you so
penguin
happy?
dance, wasn't it?
Yes, it
All
was.
right.
It was that day.
Great.
She says she didn't do it, but she literally flapped her arms and spun in a circle in front of me, wearing a 70-pound vest. So I was walking slow, and she's just like, fucking flying. It's all good. I honestly think part of a good when it comes to working or finding a good partner or gym partner, it has a lot to do with understanding each other enough to sometimes it's a Taoist movement. It's a push and a pull. Days
Yeah.
gonna be like, I don't want to do anything, and then you're like, yay, and I'm like, now I'm fueled by rage to do more, right? And then there's some
Yeah.
days she's like, are you okay? And I'm just like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm just bouncing around her, like, yeah, I got all the energy. She's like, give me a blanket and a cookie and fuck you. Like that's kind of the vibe, right? And it should be like, especially.
Ew.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this for the fellas, right?
Blanket
Because
and a
especially if
cookie.
you are in the gym, because no, you don't really know. You don't really know. Part of the reason I don't pick women's weights like that is because I don't want to tell you what you should do, but I will remind you of what you're capable of. So a lot of like people are always like real adamant about tracking their fitness journey, but to me, milestones are important, but if you have to track every single rep and you don't do this for a living, I think it's kind of asinine, right? If it's not your like hobby to be a power lifter, then you don't need to count every pound, every rep. And I think it's important that a lot of guys understand that doing that for your lady or to your lady can actually make it difficult for her to enjoy the journey. I think it is, again, it's making it like play when it comes to women's health in general. I think men benefit from it too, but what I notice is people who play organized sports in general can strive and survive much better off of chasing numbers, whereas people who don't, they just want to enjoy the process. So I think that plays into how those cycles work for you all and making it accessible. Because again, dudes get tired of stuff too, but definitely not in the same way that that women do.
Yeah.
Right? So understanding that you may not jump as high on another day, or you may not have enough energy to jump that high on a day is important, but also so is that push. So again, a good partnership will help you understand it. Like, get you a gym partner who makes space for you, not someone who tells you that you suck. Right, and again,
You suck.
I'm dead serious.
Sorrow.
There are certain I've seen and been part of gym partnerships where there wasn't space, and they didn't do it intentionally. It's just that for some reason, you know, like I'm a father, right? So I got two, but at the time I had one. I was working overnight, and my gym partner literally would come home from an 8-hour sleep and like be at the gym with me. He's like, "You don't got no energy, man. Come on," and like that can be really annoying. Unless you're doing it from a specific space. I can only imagine what it's like for a woman who deals with that every 30 days. Yeah. So that's why I say, get you a gym partner who understands.
But I will say also, like, if you train as much as we do, like, you do get into a knowledge with yourself where you can pick a higher weight to push yourself in that time, and you just kind of know how it's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
I would also say, especially with running, like, having your period while you're running, just gonna say it, really showed me like what I was capable of, I have to say. So I'd be like, man, this is a day where I would go lay down for the whole day, but I'm running 8 miles right now, and I'm actually doing it. That's pretty dope. And I didn't hurt myself, and it was just possible, and it actually made me feel better. So I think that's kind of
low cycles.
the other side of it.
Low cycles don't mean don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just life advice.
Across the board.
Yeah.
That's just life advice. Low cycles don't mean don't do. Ironically, low cycles usually mean breakthrough. So, like for ladies, if you work as hard in your low cycle as you do in your high phase, then you should be getting stronger.
Yeah.
Ironically, like by a ton, right? So I'm kind of like, I was telling my boy, I said, I'm kind of jealous how that works for y'all, right? Because when I'm weak and if I can't do it, then I just can't do it. Right? And what I mean by that is like, that's how I used to think about the gym, right? I'd be like, I feel tired, I'll just go down a weight today, right? And there were days where like, if I let my body warm up, it would get to a point where I could do more. I think a lot of women are that way, right? Like that's that phase regularly. Like if you're sore enough, if you're training hard enough, you're gonna run into a day where you're like, I'll just back off. And so we're clear, because I don't know why we got on this topic to this degree, but so we're clear, if you train only 3 days a week and you are bitching about being too sore, I'm just calling you out in video. Bullshit, right? Like I'm just calling bullshit. You don't train hard enough. I promise you, you don't lift heavy or hard enough to not be able to push yourself similarly in your next session. There's 7 days, you only train 3, which means you have 4 days off. You're not pushing yourself that hard. I promise you, you're not pushing yourself that hard. But I don't want to trample on your truth. Did you have more to say? Because I was just going to go right into mine based off of that.
I just generated a side comment, but I was done.
Yeah, go ahead, side comment it.
My side comment, what you just said, if you train 3 and you have 4 off, is I used to like do at-home workout videos, and I was so sore like all the time, like every time, and now that I work out every day, I'm way less sore.
Yeah,
It's
well
bizarre.
That's actually not as bizarre as you think, but there's a reason for it. But so having those things in between, like when you do 3 and 4, most people are just doing enough. You get what I'm saying? Those people aren't really like challenging self, because if you are, usually there's like a week. You can challenge yourself pretty well, you feel great, and then after that, like me and Aaron were talking about it the one day in the front. I think Devin was here, and we were talking about new program. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a program with him. I was like, I'm gonna be fucking just cussing all the time and upset and grumbly all the time. I was like, I'm not gonna be fun to be around.
Great.
Like I know for a fact, because when I really push for change, it doesn't matter the arena. Physical is just easy to talk about, but it doesn't matter what the change is. Uncomfortability does not come with happiness. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can find joy in your uncomfortability, but it doesn't come with, it's not going to the McDonald's of emotions. You order fucking misery with a side of happiness. Like that's not how it works. Again, and this is why I say stay mindful, because if you're truly trying to grow on a regular basis, your uncomfort has beautiful things. And if you find beautiful things, then you can keep going, right? The perseverance to continue is the mainstay of what your journey should be about. And most people's journeys, as soon as uncomfortability pops up, done, right? And so again, as a facility, we try really hard to make it like, they're like, oh, I get bored. You don't get bored. You don't get bored. You're not getting bored because of the workouts. You're getting bored because you're not pushing yourself. But I feel like as a trainer or a owner of space where we do physical fitness, my job is to eliminate your excuses. So that's all I do all day for every person who walks in my door. Like if you pay attention, someone will say something, I'll be like, bullshit. And then I'll be like, I'll talk about it. Don't lie. Like it's okay if you can have whatever your narrative is, but respectfully, shut the fuck up about it, right? Because if you say your narrative out loud, like I have seen it in so many spaces, it doesn't matter, male or female does not matter. All that matters is that when you speak negativity into the air, someone usually finds a way to resonate with it. And that resonance becomes the establishment of space, right? So you didn't mean to be super negative, but now someone else is being negative, and now another person, and now all of a sudden, the whole tempo of space is down and people are feeling sad and depressed. There's no more energy. That's why it's my job to be a hope dealer, right? I'm just out here every time you come in the door. Well, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, take this hope. Like that's what I'm doing when people meet me, and I'm doing that intentionally. It's draining as hell and it's rewarding, right? So the hard thing is showing up on a day of no happiness in my, like, let's say home life is terrible, right? And I still got to show up and deal hope. Where do you find hope if you're not mindful when you don't have hope directly in front of you? Where do you find it, right? So if I was to mention physical challenge, for me, pushing is not hard, but staying motivated to push on a regular is, right? That's the part that, like, I don't think we talk about enough, right? Someone will be like, yeah, I did this, I went so hard on one day. I don't want to use numbers because numbers can be confusing for people who don't know, but I did my max attempt on a bench press, and then the next day your deadlift comes and how strong you are, but you back off because you tried on that one day. Well, that's that lack of pushing self. So you can do it here, but you won't do it here. Great physiques, in my opinion, usually have to do with great minds, great spirits. Like, there is something humbling about taking what's bad about you and working on it until you become better. So for me, like, the physical body is tied to how I show up as an individual. So, and this is gonna offend somebody, but if you fat as fuck and you're not happy with it and you keep showing up fat, literally no one else has control of that outside of you. So you can say whatever you want, my glands, or whatever the fuck other excuse you want to come up with. I know plenty of people, women who deal with PCOS, men who have been fat their entire lives, who changed their lives. It's literally in your control. So I don't shame anyone for being fat, but I will call you out for your bullshit if you don't like where you are, right? So if you fat and ain't happy with it, I'm gonna start talking to you about what you consume, what you eat, where you spend your time. I will not say names, but we had a member who was like horribly depressed, and then we found out as we spent time talking to them that they were always drinking. And I was like, is that helping you? And they were like, well, I use it to go to sleep. Yeah, melatonin does a better job of that. You don't have to drink. And again, there's a narrative there, right? The narrative is, it helps me calm down, but it doesn't. Because if it did, then you wouldn't be depressed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your nervous system wouldn't be jacked up in the way that it is if you were approaching this from a real perspective of change. So, again, that's why I said this is a long one. Like we ain't even got on to nothing else. The reason this is a long topic and one that I feel close to my heart is because I've been where most people are. Like I didn't open this space and say I'm an amazing athlete and I'm going to teach a bunch of people. No, I was fat. I was upset. I played sports recreationally, but I didn't come into this being like I can lose 100 pounds in 3 days. No, I went through the strenuous work of doing it over 2.5 years, right? Changing the way I look over 2.5 years. Most motherfuckers quit in a month, right? Like, how bad do you really want your change? And that's because that's my whole message. That's why I'm so passionate about it, right? If you are not willing to seek the change you really want, then do us all a favor. Stay the fuck home. I really wish you would. I wish you would stop coming into space and spreading your negativity and being rude and being nasty and disrespecting everybody else's time. Stay the fuck home. But if you need to be inspired and you're looking for some space that can really help you do that, then do us all a favor. Voice it, move on. Right? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling the type of way. You are looking at 4 different people with 4 different walks of life with 4 different perspectives on how to live. But the places we agree is in the power of consistency, right? The things that work, they work across the board. So sometimes you might want to just shut the fuck up and let somebody else help you. And stop saying and stop letting your opinions drag down the spaces that you could inhabit if you just let go of your mindset. So I get tired of people putting limits on themselves by the things that they're always putting out in the atmosphere. That shit pisses me off. Like, you want to see me get upset? You'll see me get upset for that. And a lot of it is because you don't really know what you're capable of when you've never tried, right? And again, we realize that this went right to life advice very quickly. Like, there's a lot of, I've been broke, I've done all this stuff, right? I thought I was in a situation I could never get out of because of how I was raised as a human being. Like, I've been through all of that, and I could tell you, standing here or sitting here today, that stuff is a limiting possibility that you put on yourself. And I share this the way I share it for a couple different reasons. One, it's nobody else's job to save you. Literally, you save you. Nobody else saves you. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they say. Nobody saves you but you, right? 2, just as important, change your fucking circle. Please change your circle. If you're still hanging with the same deadbeat people and wondering why you're having trouble making the change you're trying to make, it's because you're hanging with the same deadbeat people. And I don't take that lightly because I, again, had to eliminate family and other things from my life to pursue a happier, healthier lifestyle. And I think this is reflective for me because we were talking about it yesterday. Em was asking me if I was happy. And I was like, yeah, I live a pretty good life. She was like, you really think so? I'm like, yes. Again, most people have no idea what I took to be here today. I share it in snippets, I do, but I don't share everything. And there are some things that I had to do as a young man that I would never wish on anybody else. But that damage became the shield that I protect the space with. I use it differently. So if you're trying to make change, take your pain and use it to create passion. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I think that's our time.
Solid.
Yep. Thank you for sitting with us today. We're probably gonna have to do this as a 3-part series at this point because I think this is huge. This is a big one. So I would like to say that if you're interested in joining us, check us out at www.gettingitdaily.com. You can also check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram under the name Getting It Daily. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Coach Linden.
I'm Em.
Amy.
And Coach Debbie.
And we're signing off.
Peace.
Peace.